This is a review for Friday, 9th of March. Today on Thursday, the market had a nice candle up off a gap, and we could be heading for the next leg higher. I don't necessarily think so, though. We've got this level right here at 29.76 was the bottom from 4 days ago, or the close rather, and the tail from the prior day was the tops today. And so as you can see here, we could have a pullback here. We could go on up to 3,000. Could do any number of things tomorrow based on the open. Here's an uptrend line here that is quite accelerated, which you need to pay attention to. The composite in the past, when it has had a retracement after this type of movement, we can open this up here and see this type of movement as well. It's come down a certain amount here, and then gone up pretty quickly after that. This came down a comparable amount, not quite as far as this retracement. What we have here is a big movement up, a big fall, 5 months of crap, and then staging higher into relatively symmetrical branches. But we had a nice big movement up here, big fall, 5 months of crap, going back up in exactly the same fashion as to this last downward movement, this one, and this one. So we're going to get another stage, another leg on up. This was a multiple leg, but if you consider this one over here, it retraced, I don't know, about all that 20%, 15 to 20% of that movement. We've retraced 15 to 20% of this movement. That might be enough down to 2,900. We may be going higher. Generally, this has been about a week and a half, however. A week and a half, this is more like 2 weeks in here. This was a week and a half. So it's 2.5 to 3 here. So this would be a little early to keep going up. So I don't think that we will. It's a little quick to do that. I don't know. Have to see. But they're operative lines for tomorrow. You can see. Broadcom gap up nicely, moved to 36. It's in this range between 35.50, 36. So that's going to be important tomorrow. Those extremes. We've got this downtrend line and this uptrend line. We're going to probably maybe wedge into the tip of that. Sure, we could come higher and touch this at the top here. Could do any number of things. This is a pretty significant level here, right at 36, just above it. So it might not even be able to do that. This does feel like, to me, like it could be coming on down some more. If the market's going to be giving a retracement back, I'd expect Broadcom to be falling down. These are the two biggest and most recent candles that are, I think, going to be driving things for a little while. I do think we're going to get some more downside. But, it doesn't have to happen immediately tomorrow. We might need to hit this uptrend line here, or this top downtrend line. SanDisk still broke above this downtrend line today. So this is pretty much a parallel slope here between for these wicks. Didn't draw that any better that time, but we might have to come up to this. Might be channeling down here or continuing to go higher off of this acceleration here from this uptrend line to this one here. SanDisk might still be going strong, ready to come back up to 50 and try to come on farther up. On a longer term chart, I'm not positive what SanDisk might be doing here. This could be weak to come on down some more. Really hard to tell in what it's doing right now. We do have a downtrend on the longer term. We do have a slight downtrend after having met prior highs right here at this price level. So this is decreasing, and if we are going through these tops, there's an acceleration of the decrease, tipping over perhaps. This was flat, so this is losing ground in comparison to this one. So maybe we need to come on down. Not sure on the long term. For tomorrow, SanDisk could be a little different story, though. It could definitely have some more upside before we come over any further. So we have to wait and see. This is a decent place for a cradle. 2 wicks down, back above the 50, tail off of the 50. It's these two tails, that tail. Putting in a lot of tails, looking like some upside potential here. Did top out today at the open 2 days ago. So that's going to be a very important level. You can see that right there, very strong. What is that? That's 49.65. Go to Netflix. Netflix has increasing lines down for a tip over. Might need to come on down here to 100. It did maintain above, but basically close to 105, 104.70 or so. This is the tops pulling back before the earnings juiced it for the gap. So potential for this to go ahead and springboard back up. Just have to see. Could do either. This I do think this line from this wick through this open, which led to acceleration yesterday, I do think that is an operative line that's going to need to be paid close attention to. And this could have another big fall depending on its open. Have another big fall, come on right down to 100. Next. Decent movement back up today. Was a red candle, but it was another nice tail down. So we have tails from a bottom extreme showing potential for a reversal back up. Key level here is 2604, just above 26. 26 was going to be and always had and has been for a while quite an important level. Just above that, basically 2605, we see in some of these wicks back here through this price action. That is actually a good level. It's referenced twice in the last 4 days. Very nice. So going back above that, we can springboard back up. Here's an uptrend line on your tails. Being below this line could occasional fall back past 26. Don't know. Have to wait and see. But if the market's strong up tomorrow, maybe we get a real movement back up. I'm going to try to come back up here to this tail here at 26.90 or 27, or at least 26.50. Try to recover some of this. Very nice. After this big fall here, we did have movement back up. This is from an extreme of that, this fall, and then the gap down, so we're moving back up. But you see, there's some upside there potential. This might be at the top of it though, however, and we could very well have some acceleration down and a real nice plummet if we need to move on down to 24. Over the long term, perhaps we are headed back down to 20. If we look at a long-term chart of X, it really just does not look very good. And you can see this is a pretty substantial break. We've still got this the main trend line we broke the past 4 or 5 months, and that could work its way on down over the next 3 to 4 weeks, come back down to 20. So that's a possibility too. There's nothing that really shows X is strong upside long term, but in the short term you might get some hook back for the upside. Apple still staying strong, went above this uptrend line, got back into this region. Very well just blast on up, challenge these highs tomorrow, hit 550 again, maybe go past it. That's only $9 away, actually only $8 away from where it closed today. So Apple's very strong. UTX had a real nice gap and candle doji back up. Could springboard above 84 tomorrow and keep moving higher, but I don't know. Chances are decent that this is just going to peel over. We are above this downtrend line established by these peaks here, however, and so any number of things could happen with UTX. It looks quite interesting at the moment. Potential for good movement. What else? Amazon should be in here. Amazon's moving really well. I'm going to start tracking Amazon. I'll just save this. Place Home Depot, I think. But Amazon looks really nice, can move quite a bit. For a $180 stock, that's not bad. That's decent movement in a day. And over the long term, here's the Amazon longer term picture. You can see good potential to be moving. Past year or two, it's been moving quite a lot. So we get some more of that. Very nice. So We're going to start tracking Amazon. But had a real nice movement up today, and looks like it did it break this downtrend line. The one established by these two wicks, it certainly did. It came off of this very nice cradle, recovered this obviously important level, went up to it this day on an attempted recovery, completely rejected, failed to fail off of this, clear rejection. Cradle goes above this downtrend line. That could continue tomorrow. This might be really moving back up. Might have decided to come back here and challenge these highs past 195, 196. That could be really nice. Stack a nice big candle on top of that tomorrow. That's a good, impressive movement off a cradle to break a downtrend line in a recovery pattern. And I would say this is a recovery pattern. It's trying its best, and it went above a critical threshold today. So if we want to draw a parallel line with this wick here, we're above that as well, or draw from here, we're above that. So Amazon could be cool. What else? LNKD fit the pattern of a lot of the movement up since January. Downtrend line after a movement moved higher, and gap above it just went beautifully. Was anticipating this for 2 days. Got up late today, didn't get it. I said I thought a move above 88 in particular would be outstanding. Spurred on by all of this good action here, this big movement and break above this resistance level of 82. Very big, followed up a few days later by additional big movement. Kind of gave it back in a meandering fashion, but very well could have broken that line and gone again in a big way, and that's exactly what it did. Emblematic of some of this movement over here. So we could get some more tomorrow. LNKD could be very good, either up or down. Feel it out. I think upside probably. The market isn't catastrophically downside. Texas Instruments getting weak again, and very well could come back down some more. Its range is 32 to 34. 33 essentially would be the midline of that, and it had problems there, gapped up to it and came on down. So it's still living in the bottom of this channeling range. It could come on back down to 32, and we could be having a tip over, an acceleration here. So maybe this is going to be coming on down, close this gap, at least come back down to 32. That's a decent scenario for this pattern. So Texas Instruments might be very good as well. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I think those are the most interesting ones for tomorrow. Best Buy could be going up to recover some. This looks decently strong. Then again, it could just be rolling over. But Best Buy's been moving pretty well during the day and has potential for some decent candles. And I think that's going to be the last one. No, we'll talk about Google. Looking pretty bad. A little bit of a breakdown. Could be headed back down to 600 tomorrow and falling. This is not really good. 3 red candles in a row. This is a nice tail, but you can see we've got ourselves a living area, a living region, kind of below where it seemed to want to be not very long ago. Fall from 620, achieved gap closure. Okay, are we coming back on down now? Going to have to come back down to past 600, 590. Are we channeling in this range now? And now we're going to move down to the bottom of this channel to stay within this gap region. Don't know. Interesting. Google could be a breakdown tomorrow, though. Hit 600 and go past, perhaps. Okay, that really is the last one. Don't talk about anything else. That's it. Good luck tomorrow.